A head start. You're getting soft in your old age.
Don't you have a tall building to go leap?
And the adventure continues.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 animated superhero TV series.
My mother used to punish me with timeouts all the time, but I never learned a thing. But maybe they'll work on you, because you're a party pooper. Hey, look, everyone! A party pooper!
For this list, we'll be looking at the best and brightest shows in the genre. We'll be excluding anime because that deserves a list of its own. Which superhero show left you awestruck? Let us know in the comments. Number 20. The Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Released at a time when the Marvel Cinematic Universe was starting to become popular, this series focused on the chemistry between the titular team in a separate universe.
You are Earth's mightiest heroes, and I've called you together for one reason. The end of the world is here, and it's our job to stop it.
The show featured a variety of superhero fight scenes that never failed to impress. These epic battles are paired with great adaptations of classic arcs from the comics. Earth's Mightiest Heroes fulfills every superhero fan's dream of watching their favorite characters duke it out with the baddest out there. Loki, Ultron, Doctor Doom, and so many more show up to give the Avengers grief.
You are nothing to me. One by one, I will destroy you. I will never tire. I will never show mercy.
Despite being well received, the series unfortunately wasn't renewed after its second season. But its brief ride is still worth assembling friends to watch. Number 19. Super Friends. Before the genre was diversified with gritty heroes and complex stories, it was known for its lighthearted and cheesy nature.
What is photosynthesis?
Why, photosynthesis is when you...
Hold it, Robin. Learning is something only Marvin can do for Marvin. Right, Superman?
Right, Marvin. You must do your own thinking and studying.
Super Friends is a great example of this earlier era. The premise sees the members of the Justice League and a few of their sidekicks working together to foil evil schemes. Instead of telling a season-long story, the show provided a variety of one-shot adventures.
This is your captain speaking. Thank you for flying Superman Airlines. Fasten your seatbelts. We're heading for a landing at Central Hospital. Their stories unapologetically embraced how silly and wacky comics can get. And it managed to bring in a lot of heroes and villains across its long run. While the show might not have the highest stakes, its wacky nature makes being a superhero look like a ton of fun. Number 18. Darkwing Duck. Serving as a parody of heroes like the Green Hornet and Batman, Darkwing Duck brings us into a fantastic satirical world.
My keen ears detect a ticking sound. Could it be some fearful engine of destruction? A UFO? A bomb?
Oh, flying pocket watch. Of course.
Even the hero's home city of St. Canard looks like a lighter take on Batman's Gotham City. When Darkwing Duck wasn't stopping no-gooders, the show focused on the interesting dynamic between the protagonist's real identity and his alter ego. Watching him constantly evaluate why he was fighting crime was a nice running theme. Darkwing's show also broke the mold by being one of the first Disney shows to feature lots of combat. Decades after its run, fans can recite the awesome theme song and the hero's catchphrases by heart.
When there's trouble, you call DW. Darkwing Duck!
Let's get dangerous.
Darkwing Duck definitely left a webbed footprint on the genre. Number 17. The Powerpuff Girls. For a show that routinely features a whole lot of violence, the Powerpuff Girls is pretty adorable. The series follows sisters Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup as they protect the city of Townsville from numerous threats. Their hometown is full of hilarious and memorable characters. The incompetent mayor, the main trio's father, Professor Utonium, and the show's very active narrator all helped us get invested in Townsville.
Aw, what a great ending! So once again, the day is saved, thanks to the Powerpuff Girls.
Oh, I just love these stories where you laugh and learn.
So whenever it was threatened by the genius primate Mojo Jojo or the terrifying him, we were rooting for the girls to win. The show also had the heroes deal with minor personal problems in between their battles against kaijus. Overall, watching the trio grow up in this quirky and dangerous city was ridiculously sweet.
But we can't leave Townsville, even for one weekend. Can you imagine what would happen if we weren't here to protect it?
Well, heck if I know.
Exactly!
Number 16. Todd McFarlane's Spawn. R-rated animation can be an acquired taste. Luckily, Spawn perfectly caters to fans who prefer their characters to be dark and disturbing. The show tells the story of former Marine Al Simmons. After a former friend sends him to hell, he returns to Earth as a Hellspawn and swears revenge on those responsible for taking his life away.
Your former self, meaning one hell-bent for leather kick-ass, take no prisoners government assassin by the name of Al Simmons, is dead.
It's not true.
The grim premise allowed the show to delve into extremely mature topics at a time where most superhero programs kept things pretty PG. As Spawn fought against terrible evils, the animation wonderfully played up the show's horror elements.
The deal was, you see Wanda and then become Hellspawn, a ranking officer in the Devil's Army. Well, now you've seen her.
Although the main character may give you some nightmares, his stories are so well told that you'll feel sorry for him and want him to get his vengeance. Number 15. Batman Beyond. Set in the future of the DC animated universe, Batman Beyond brings a new Dark Knight into a cyberpunk setting. After Bruce Wayne is forced to retire from active duty, he lets the young Terry McGinnis put on an advanced batsuit and fight crime.
I accept nothing short of excellence from all who work for me.
I think I can handle it.
Very good then, Mr. McGinnis. Welcome to my world.
Batman Beyond cleverly works in a few of Bruce's former enemies throughout its run. However, it also gives Terry the chance to build his own unique rogues gallery. It's fun watching the dynamic between the two Batmen as they tackle new and old threats.
I've been thinking about something you once told me. And you were wrong. It's not Batman that makes you worthwhile. It's the other way around.
And the show's darker tone allowed for their adventures to be really hard-hitting and haunting. The future Batman Beyond depicted wasn't always bright. However, it was always thrilling. Number 14. Transformers. Modern audiences might think of Michael Bay's explosive live-action movies whenever they hear Transformers. However, they shouldn't overlook the excellent original animated series. Like most Transformers stories, the long-running conflict between Optimus Prime's Autobots and Megatron's Decepticons is front and center. Their battles are brought to life with seamless transformation sequences and tremendous voice acting.
We're all a little wiser now, but the Matrix is empty. It's up to all of us to fill it again, with the wisdom we accumulate from this moment on.
Outside of the many clashes, there's a deeper plot to appreciate as well. Transformers goes from simply being about robot battles to detailing the lore of Cybertron and the price of its war. Tragic deaths and sacrifices amp up the tension and deliver emotional arcs for fans to invest in. Thanks to great storytelling, a full-length animated movie rolled out that fans also loved.
One shall stand, one shall fall. Why throw away your life so recklessly? That's a question you should ask yourself, Megatron.
Number 13. The Spectacular Spider-Man. The Spectacular Spider-Man gave us one of the most beloved versions of the wall crawler on TV. Since it's set during Peter's time at high school, the audience has time to watch him slowly grow into a more mature webhead.
Spider-Man's no magic wand, but thanks to the webhead, Kurt's cured, and Billy gets his father back. So what if nobody threw a parade? Spidey stays because Spidey's needed.
At the same time, viewers see other iconic franchise characters develop too. Everyone is depicted in a slick art style that makes it look like the comic book stories have come alive. While audiences marveled at the animation, they also got to see new dramatic takes on classic Spider-Man stories. But that doesn't mean there wasn't great humor as well. Heroes, villains, and everyone in between had witty dialogue and hilarious moments.
You are the bossiest damsel in distress I have ever rescued. Also the ugliest, heaviest, and the first.
Who are you?
Why, I'm your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, of course.
This webhead show has something for every Spider-Man aficionado. Number 12. Superman, the animated series. Few DCAU series have as many hard-hitting villains as this show did. Fortunately, the Man of Steel was ready to take them all on. The show provided layered and intimidating versions of the Blue Boy Scouts' fiercest foes. Rogues like Metallo, Brainiac, and Darkseid pushed Superman to his absolute limits.
That's for Dan Turpin. Who? The good man you murdered.
Had I known one human's death would pain you so, I would have killed more.
As fun as it was to watch the hero punch bad guys, it really shone when it focused on his inner conflicts and societal issues that powers alone couldn't solve. This animated series also notably brought in other heroes for memorable team-up stories.
You know, Flash, this morning I thought you were just a hyperactive jerk. But you're okay. Give me 5.
Go!
Too slow.
Whether Superman is in a team-up or literally flying solo, his adventures always have a hopeful and optimistic tone. His uplifting series deserves to be considered as a classic. Number 11. Static Shock. There's a certain charm about young heroes carrying a sense of humor and fun into their crime-fighting exploits. Static Shock is unquestionably one of the best examples of that kind of hero.
You did it! Yeah, lucky that water main was there.
Verge, that wasn't a water main. It was a sewer line.
I think Static's work here is done.
After a wisecracking teenager named Virgil Hawkins gains electromagnetic powers during a harrowing incident, he decides to use his abilities to protect his hometown. His strong connections with his complex family members and friends make it clear who he's fighting for.
Thanks, Static. I couldn't have done it without him.
Hey, working with you has been the real deal. If you ever need a sidekick or someone to watch the Fortress of Solitude while you're out of town...
You're at the top of the list.
Static Shock balanced high-flying superhero fun with serious and grounded topics. Issues like poverty, racial discrimination, and mental health were all discussed in nuanced and powerful stories. Static Shock's willingness to shine a light on tough topics while providing superb superhero action made it a fun and meaningful series. Number 10. What If? After the multiverse was introduced in Loki, What If gave us a glimpse of the limitless potential of multiple Marvel realities. A being known as the Watcher shows us how small changes can create entirely new timelines and heroes.
He made the ultimate sacrifice, restoring peace and saving this universe. But in another universe, a single choice created a whole new hero.
During the first season, we saw Peggy Carter get superpowers, Doctor Strange turned fully evil, and we met tons of Avengers zombies. Since a good number of live-action MCU actors returned to voice their characters, the series also feels like a natural part of the bigger universe.
I can't believe you came! Loki, you are the absolute best!
You're my brother from another mother, man. I mean that. I mean it.
Brothers forever!
Brothers forever!
Forever!
The show's first season spawned a zombie spin-off and saw one of its characters appear in live action. This imaginative series has clearly had an impact on an entire shared universe. Number 9. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Filled with wackiness, martial arts, and enough pizza to fill the audience's stomach, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is certainly a wild ride.
Leonardo leads Donatello does machine. That's a fact, Jack. Raphael is cool but rude. Give me a break. Michelangelo is a party dude.
As the title suggests, it's about young turtles who protect New York from various threats. The distinctive and vibrant personalities of the main 4 heroes had fans struggling to pick their favorite. Michelangelo, Leonardo, Donatello, and Raphael had unique fighting styles and quirks that each brought something interesting to their sewer. And when they came together, even fearsome villains like Shredder had to watch their backs. The show's massive success spawned everything from action figures to breakfast cereals to many animated and live-action adventures.
And so the priceless head of Tutu Carmen has been returned to its rightful place in the museum, thanks to a quartet of devoted art lovers.
The series made legions of fans believe in turtle power. Number 8. Harley Quinn. Filled with profanity, violence, and pitch-black humor, this series traces a supervillain's journey to becoming a slightly less terrible anti-hero. Harley's quest to build her own legacy after stepping out of her ex-boyfriend Joker's shadow makes for a genuinely compelling story. The series fully dives into everything from her shifting moral code to her budding relationship with Poison Ivy.
You're trying to grow and actually doing it. And that, I mean, for me, that's what matters.
I love you, Ive.
I love you too, Harley.
However, don't let that fool you into thinking this is a completely serious series. It's filled to the brim with brilliant jokes and shots at DC heroes and villains. And Harley's quirky crew members are also incredibly fun to laugh at. Since there's no telling what the title characters and her friends will do next, this witty series constantly surprises us.
Whoa, Ive, you look great!
Oh, you think? I didn't go too big, or?
No way, you're pulling it off. I mean, honestly, you could have gone bigger.
Really?
$30 if you put me in your pocket.
Number 7. Young Justice. Instead of building stories exclusively around veteran DC characters, Young Justice puts the spotlight on up-and-coming heroes and sidekicks. After introducing a small core of teenage protagonists, the series slowly builds out their backstories and has them meet new allies. This gave audiences plenty of time to watch the characters develop and become more complex.
I'm not blaming you. I know you've been forced to make impossible decisions, like choosing between saving the Krolatans on Molina Island
or saving my friends.
It also makes it easier to fall in love with the cast. As the series went on, it deeply explored grounded issues like PTSD and prejudice. These impactful episodes impressively managed to contribute to larger story arcs without disrupting the flow of the season.
If you take this, we'll fold Batman Inc. back into the league and the team on your terms. It's for the best, for the mission.
Young Justice is a brilliantly constructed series that never loses sight of the up-and-coming heroes and the challenges they overcome. Number 6. Spider-Man the Animated Series. In the very first episode, Spider-Man the Animated Series throws audiences right into the webhead's fast-paced adventures. Fortunately, the series never takes its foot off the gas. The show follows a college-aged Peter Parker confronting villains and personal issues. Spider-Man voice actor Christopher Daniel Barnes leads an incredible cast full of strong performers.
I'll bet each one has somebody close. I feel so distant. I have nobody. Except you, of course. Oh, you're always here for me. You're rock solid. And best of all, you laugh at all my jokes.
He also effortlessly goes between throwing out quips to portraying the hero's inner turmoil. During the series, his Spider-Man teamed up with some heavy Marvel mainstays. Everyone from the X-Men to the Beyonder show up to fight or help the webhead out. Peter Parker even teams up with multiversal versions of himself.
The Beyonder decided that Spider-Man from other realities would have to find a way to stop this one. In other words, only he could stop himself.
Packed with wild storylines and web-slinging action, this beloved show set the standard for what a Spider-Man series should be. Number 5. Invincible. Invincible's extreme violence, realistic approach to heroics, and grim tone could have turned viewers off, but the show's commitment to its heavier themes drew audiences in. After teenager Mark Grayson develops powers, he tries to be a shining beacon like his father Omni-Man.
I'm strong enough, and I can do this. It's all I ever wanted for as long as I can remember. I want to do what you do. I want to be just like you.
However, the young man is initially unaware that his father is hiding a darkness that threatens the fate of the entire planet. Mark eventually realizes that being a hero might mean turning against his own dad.
This is my home, and I won't let you destroy it.
You don't know what you're saying, and I can't let you interfere.
I know exactly what I'm saying.
The series forces its hero to make tons of hard choices like this throughout the story. It often means that Mark and his friends get into some brutal, yet beautifully animated fights. Between the gripping plot, graphic battles, and shocking turns, Invincible is a must-see. Number 4. Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. Since both series exist in the same universe and feel like two parts of the same story, both deserve the shout-out here. This pair of shows had the daunting task of bringing in legions of characters from the DC universe to life.
We would be a force that could truly work for the ideals of peace and justice.
What? Like a bunch of super friends?
More like a Justice League.
Fortunately, it accomplished its task with flying colors. Popular heroes like the fast-talking Flash and stoic Batman get time to team up with allies like Jon Stewart's Green Lantern and Martian Manhunter. But the show also lets underrated heroes like Hawkgirl shine in dedicated storylines.
What I couldn't know was that I would come to care for the Earth and her people. That I'd come to care for all of you. I've spent the last 5 years torn between my feelings and my duty. I won't ask you to do the same.
If the sheer variety of plots and characters isn't enough to impress, the presence of legendary villains like Darkseid will definitely win audiences over. Both Justice League shows made showcasing tons of heroes and villains look easy. Number 3. Teen Titans. The Justice League isn't the only popular DC team. Robin, Starfire, Cyborg, Beast Boy, and Raven made a big impact when they led Teen Titans. The anime-inspired animation instantly made it visually stand out in the genre.
Fascinating. And this mask makes you look very mysterious. So, beloved sister, what brings you to Earth?
But audiences truly stayed to get to know the 5-layered main heroes. Every hero had their own inner struggles, limitations, and tragedies in their past. But they always put their issues aside to work with the teammates that had become like family. While the show excelled at telling heavy and emotional stories, it could also have lots of fun with comedic adventures. Teen Titans can make us laugh, cry, and feel energized in the same episode.
Maybe a hero isn't all that I am. Maybe we could be...
Robin?
Starfire?
Stop talking.
These young heroes always kept us entertained. Number 2. X-Men, the Animated Series. When fans are asked to name the best Marvel animated series, this X-Men show immediately comes to mind. Popular mutants like Wolverine, Gambit, Magneto, and more all star in this landmark series. The show is full of complex social commentary about prejudice and other topical issues.
I'm worried about Rogue, Cyclops.
Rogue? Why?
Because I know how she feels when I touch your hand, or when we kiss, because I sense her pain.
It also fully delivers on the mutant action and storylines that fans were hungry for. While movies have failed to do famous arcs like the Dark Phoenix saga justice, the series has the time to flesh out these plots and characters. Oh, and did we mention the awesome theme song? The series was so beloved that it was revived nearly 30 years after it ended. This mutant show certainly stood the test of time. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Batman, the Animated Series. Complex, dark, and filled with a neo-noir aesthetic, Batman the Animated Series is the peak of animated superhero perfection. Every episode takes time to dive into the psyches of the heroes and villains.
I am not a disgrace. I am vengeance. I am the knight. I am Batman!
Thanks to detailed writing, audiences often end up feeling sympathy for the antagonists. Throughout the series, voice acting talents of Kevin Conroy as Batman and Mark Hamill as the Joker shine in a cast full of exceptional talent.
That we, in fact, messed up our own rotten lives. And as we are so rotten, vile, and depraved, we're going to waste you anyway.
Their brilliant battles ensured the duo would go on to voice the characters for decades. Not only did the series kick off the DC animated universe, but it also spawned several films and shows like the new Batman Adventures. Batman's pivotal series ultimately paved the way for numerous superhero stories. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.